Hey guys, I'm back. Um, I want to say firstly, I know a lot of my friends have been like telling me I haven't really uploaded as much, and I actually had to deep it. I was like, why am I not uploading as much? Is it because I believe in something for the channel which is different to others, or is it just me being lazy or whatnot? And I think obviously there is some aspect of being lazy, but when I actually deeped it, I noticed I want this channel to be about me passing on knowledge, right? That I currently have. I'm not like First Man or Hamza or all them man, you know, who have a lot of life experience enough to actually like say a bunch of stuff. But the things I have and I truly believe are really, really effective and I've actually preached in my life, I just see them out, you know. And whenever I get that idea, you know what, actually, this is something I have been doing, it's working well for me to pass down knowledge, just as old non-fiction books have. The purpose of this channel is simply just to pass on knowledge. It's not to make a monetary profit off of it. Obviously, if I get some monetary profit of it, it's all good. It's all good. But the main aim is never to, get monetary profit off of this. It's just to deliver content that is information passed down to future generations. I expect the new generation who actually takes on knowledge to achieve their success that they thought would take 50, 40 years in 20, 30 years, and the generation after that to get it in 10 to 20 years, right? That's how the idea of like passing on information should work. And I believe that this channel, right now, I'd rather focus on that aspect than any other aspect. All right. Another thing I wanted to say is I am, mashallah, of course, you can't jinx yourself. I'm very, very happy for me actually continuing on a journey like this. I never expected that I could even last this long. I'm not even going to lie. Because I've looked at all my previous attempts at self-improving and they've previously, they have ended, not always, they have always before ended in failure. But this one, I know it is different because I don't feel like I can stop. You understand? It's like telling me not to breathe air or breathe or drink water. You know, that's how I feel in my mind about this improvement, right? And as you can check the videos, you can check. I probably make the thumbnail about me being before and after. You know, it's like there's a difference there, right? But I deeped this, and I was deep in this a lot actually. Why I actually stopped those self-improvement runs before, you know? Why is it now that I'm actually, actually improving? And I look back at it and I realize, okay, there's a bunch of things, but here, this is one of the biggest ones that I've actually managed to tackle somehow, right? And it's negativity. The idea of negativity, negative energy around you or in yourself. I noticed throughout my life I've actually been constant war with that idea of negative energy. I've always been surrounded with it, whether it's in myself with family members or the family members having negative energy around them, which thus translates to you. There's always been negative energy around it, and you can't really deal with it. You can't really get rid of it actually, but you can learn to deal with it. And I noticed in previous runs, I'm going to be very honest, I believe the channel is for honesty. I had a lot of jealousy towards people, hatred towards people, you know, and that occupied a lot of my brain space. You know, whenever someone violated me or things, I'm not a guy before to not take things personally. I always take things personally sometimes. And I always thought that was a normal thing because, you know, as humans, we're social creatures. We take advice from and criticism from our peers, from our fellow tribesmen. So I actually took it personally, and it came to a point where it affected my mind, my mental state, in the wrong way. Now, don't get me wrong. Any information that you receive in terms of criticism, you have to listen to it. And you actually have to deep it most of the time. Unless it's some batshit crazy one that you know is fucking shit, yeah, you know is fucking crazy, that's like big bullshit, yeah, big bullshit. Don't listen to it, right? But the majority of the criticisms that you're getting are actually problems that you could actually address, right? But where I went wrong a lot of the times, I don't regret this because it's a learning, I needed this lesson, right? Was how to use that negative energy to better yourself, right? What I do now is I take a lot of that negative energy that people say. I've received a lot of criticism, you know. I think I'm personally proud right now that I've achieved what I've got. I know I've got a lot of weight to lose, a lot more physique to build, a shit ton more social interactions to cover over. I have not really worked on that as much as I should have. I'm still, yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm 18. I've got the time to actually work on it. Hopefully, God forbid, anything bad happens. You know, please no. Regardless, one thing that was really, really bad with all my runs is whenever someone violated me or that I was taking so personally, I start going into bad habits. I start using social media, all those things as, you know, coping mechanisms. And what I'm about to tell you now, if you can really understand it, then trust me, a majority of the things that you think are impossible to do are not really that impossible, and you can really easily do it. You should be able to use negative energy as fuel. Right now, I received a lot of criticism with my weight, for example. The fact that, you know, I am quite fat right now still. But, you know what, bun this, I'll actually say it right now. Because I thought I could say it in a future video, like when I get 1,000 subscribers or something. You know what, I'm gonna be real. I started off this journey, the time, that intro video that you see there, I was, I think, 121 kilos, right? Anywhere from 117 to 121. I don't remember the exact number, but that was the range I was at, okay? Now that's fucking a lot. I mean, to bench it is not that hard. To, like, obviously do leg press is not that hard for me. But deep in how heavy I was and the amount of, like, physical shape I was at, it's not good. It's not really good. And right now, I sit at around 98, 97 kilos, you know, around that ballpark. So in that journey, I'm proud of myself of going through that hard work. You know, I deserve that. I think I earned my way here, but I have to earn my way there to the best peak physique I can get. Because I know it's not hard to get there. You know, it's not hard to get into the best physique of your life, right? It's easy, but it's simple steps to follow. But the steps are not necessarily easy, right? Being able to always give your 100% when it comes to training, right? To eat well, to sleep well, to not have processed foods. Even though you look at the Western diet, most of it is processed foods. That's hard, right? I'm digressing so much. The fact is, a lot of that ability to actually use this as energy to fuel me even more, to actually make me work extra hard in training, to make sure my diet is peak, is like 100%. You know, I'm cutting all that processed shit out, getting all the good things, you know. It's all come from me taking on people's criticism and using it as fuel, right? I'm being commented on my weight a lot, you know. People still tell me I still need, my cardio is looking peak. Trust me right now, me and that guy, whoever says my cardio is looking peak, we have a race, I'll probably win, right? Or I'll probably get damn close near them, right? If they're like really, really fast. I don't give out as quickly as I did, you know. And in some instances, I might even outlast them, very easily. I'm not even gonna lie. I believe my own hype this much because I've actually worked for my hype. My hype is real, right? And that's because I've trained for my hype, right? I've not done anything wrong to deserve this, But regardless of that, I still work extra hard. When people say, "Oh, your cardio looking P, you're still fat," people call me fat cow, And firstly, don't take that type of disrespect. I don't know why I still take that type of disrespect currently. I should, I can't lie. I don't want to really use violence, because of consequences right now. But push comes to shove, I won't regret it at all. But rather than using that negative energy to just build up anger against them, because I don't hate them, right? I don't hate them like that. I use it solely on pushing myself forward to make sure that they have no reason to say that ever again, right? If they say that ever again, you can literally say, "Are you sure about that, big man? Is it that I'm fat or that I have more muscle than your whole line, your whole bloodline?" You understand? That's the type of mentality I currently have, and I don't see a reason for that to ever stop. When I go training, I always work my ass off. Anyone who some guy called me a pakora, yeah, I take that. I don't get it comes into my mind, but the way I use it is the key. Because you hear it and your mind will still deep it. Even people who are the most stoic, they still deep these things, even though they say don't deep it, it's fine. No, it's wrong if you don't deep it, all right? But the way you're using it has to be the positive way, to use it to further push yourself rather than being pissed off at that guy. That's not going to do shit to you, right? Using that as extra motivation to get there, that will. It's worked for me 100% of the time so far, and it doesn't look like it's going to let me down. Let me drink some water a little bit. All of that energy that you receive as negative energy from people, trust me, it's still energy at the end of the day, right? Positive energy, negative energy, right? You have the ability. You have the ability to turn that negative energy to positive energy, right? I say to myself, I only accept positive energy in my life, right? This is one guy who I don't talk to nearly as much, though I really should. He's a really big guy, like big up that guy. Major respect for that guy. He actually helped me a lot before I started boxing and all that stuff. Big up PJ. Thank you so much, man, for that advice. I only accept positive energy. So negative energy that comes to my brain and comes into my heart, it automatically gets converted to positive energy, right? That's the idea that I want you guys to have. This is not something that's batshit crazy, It looks like I'm waffling or talking out of my ass, right? But you're not deeping it. That's what it is. You're not really deeping it. Okay, that's literally what most of it is. A lot of the time when you think it's waffle or anything, it's not waffle or anything. It's actually you are not you're not really understanding or realizing what's going on, right? And what's actually being said. You think I'm chatting shit, but in fact, this information, I don't do it to make money off of. I don't say, if I made a lot of money off of it, you see a ton of animations and all that shit, yeah? I don't know how to do too much editing right now. I unfortunately don't have the time enough to actually work on it. I'm working on other things. I'm working on my physique, my social interaction with my friends at least, and family members. My diet, my mental well-being, my all of that, and my academics. Not as much as the financials because of the academics. Hopefully, get all A stars, A levels. Regardless, sorry. Use that negative energy that you get from a lot of people. When you receive a lot of stick from a lot of people, it's like, oh, this guy's so lazy. This guy's so like, oh, this guy looks weird. He has. I joke with my friend about some guy who has satellite communication, as you say, yeah. I respect him. I respect him, right? And I believe he has a long way to go in self-improvement as well. But that person can use that itself to be like, all right, let me make myself so intimidating in terms of my building my physique up, being a high value man, being ultra, that they build so much respect for me that, you know, they can look past your insecurities. I notice a lot of people who society looks up to, you know, the high value man, deep down in mind that they still have insecurities, they still have imperfections, but society respects them enough to bypass it, to look past it, right? So any bad things I have, I always look at. I never really deep it anyways, because it's like something I can't really control. If I can control it, I'm like, alright, I don't need to deep it too much. I can get it sorted out, you know. Whether it's like pushback hair, I'm thinking I might get hair transplant surgery, go Turkey or something. It's gonna be easy. It's not. I'm not even deep in that, right? Regardless, though, that person, for example, he could use a lot of that energy, right? He's getting as negative that, you know, to obviously him it will be negative energy, and use it in a positive way. You know, it's that simple of an equation. You understand? Use that as fuel, extra motivation. I get a stick for it, and I'm like, all right, come on, let's actually train harder, push ourselves harder. If you're not training, obviously, then firstly, you should, but that energy, I don't see how you could otherwise get it, or how otherwise you can really function as a high value man, you know. I personally don't see any way that someone does not either takes criticism and literally just 100% blocks it, right? Doesn't even take any on board, or someone who takes that energy on board and goes and comforts itself, right, through like watching porn, watching you know, a ton of social media, which is softcore porn, I'm not even gonna lie, or eating a bunch of junk food that he knows is bad for him, he knows it's gonna fuck him up in the long run and in short term, and still, you know, at the end of the day, feel good about themselves, feel comforting. You know, that's what I have to say, and I know I'm right. I'm pretty sure I am right on this, because I know, even let it not be myself, I can ask any elders, right, the same question. They'll say the same thing. You know, whenever they receive a lot of bad information, it's like, oh, dafadur, lekin, dafadur, I don't know what it is in English. I forget about it. But inside, they still know it's right, and you know, you see them act upon it. A lot of the people that we see now, you know, are too weak, and I say quite degenerate. So I think when they receive a lot of that negative energy, they're so accustomed to it, or of receiving it, that they don't feel like they need to change, right? Because society's come at this point where this negative energy is as common as air, right? It's as common as air. So they don't feel like, do you know what? I actually need to work on myself, you know. So if you feel like you actually need to work on yourself, firstly, welcome to the ultra world, right? This is just a tiny snippet of it, right? I'm still having a slightly bigger than you, but still tiny snippet of the ultra air. But know that this negative energy, because it's as plentiful as air, you can convert that air, for instance, into something that's very useful to you, right? And I want you guys to actually take this on in mind. That being said, that's the end of the video. I didn't know what else to say at the end, I can't lie. But Here's what I want you guys to do. Close this video. Stop this video immediately, right? Go on your phone. Leave YouTube, right? Or if you're on your laptop, close the laptop or turn this YouTube thing off and do some fucking work. If you need to go to sleep, go to fucking sleep. If you need to train, go to fucking training. If you're eating, fucking save that food, yeah? Don't be a dickhead about it. If you have a girl wait for you, firstly, you lucky bastard. And secondly, and otherwise just enjoy yourself, right? Enjoy yourself, live in the moment, and get off the fucking app. Peace.